So let's talk about dilation. Dilation is when an image either expands or shrinks. So now for dilation, what that is that in order to make this bigger, we notice that we are going to multiply by numbers that are greater than 1. This is going to make this object bigger, and that's when we're just going to multiply the x by the scale factor and the y by the scale factor. We need to go ahead and label our vertices here. So if we label this points A, B, C, and D, that's going to help us when we perform the dilation. We're going to label the vertices of the dilation with A prime, B prime, C prime, and D prime. So let's get some math work in. So we're going to label our points here, A, B, C, and D. So you can see that we're multiplying here. If we're going to dilate by a scale factor of 2, we're going to multiply the x and the y coordinates by 2. So you can see that our A prime is going to give us 4 as an x coordinate and 2 as a y coordinate. So for B, the math work here is 2 times 2, and then -1 times 2. That's going to give us B prime as 4 and -2. So let's go ahead and do C is going to be times our scale factor of 2. That's going to give us -4, -2 for C prime. And D prime, when we work this out, -2 times 2 and 1 times 2 is going to give us -4 and +2. So to draw this dilation out, so the specifics here, we label our points A, B, C, and D. All we're doing is we're plotting A prime, B prime, C prime, and D prime. And then you go ahead and you can go ahead and draw those lines in to connect the rectangle. And you can see that's give us a dilation that expands when we multiply by the whole number. But if we multiply by fractions here, so if we're multiplying by anything less than 1, what we're going to do is we're going to notice that our object is going to shrink. And so in order to do this, we're going to multiply our x and our y by the scale factor. And we're going to notice here that our dilation is going to shrink. So let's label our points A, B, C, and D. And let's go ahead and do a scale factor this time of just 1/2. And so we're going to cut everything in half. So for our points A, B, C, and D, the math work here is we're doing 4 times 1/2 and 4 times 1/2. We cut them in half to get our new coordinates for A prime of 2 and 2. So let's do point B. So we're going to do 4 times 1/2 and then -2 times 1/2. When we cut both of those in half, we get, for B prime, we get 2 and then -1. So for C, we have 4 times 1/2 and -2 times 1/2. Sorry, -4 times 1/2. So for C prime, we get -2, -1. And then for D prime, we're doing -4 times 1/2 and then 4 times 1/2. What we're doing is we're cutting those in half. So we're using our scale factor of 1/2. It gives us -2 and +2. So we can notice here that after we do our awesome and amazing work, here we notice that when we plot these points, so we're plotting A and we label that as A prime. We plot B and we label that as B prime. We plot C, we label it as C prime. And we plot D prime here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and connect it to make our dilation of 1/2.